Well, feels like we're still stuck in the UAE. We're winning the toss, choosing to bowl, and no target seems to be big enough at this point. 200 plus, chased down effortlessly. And as many people are pointing out, Bhuvi bowling the 90th
Forget people,
over.
tell them what happened in the match.
Well, let's see. India started off poorly. It didn't get much better from there on, although at one point there was a glimmer of hope. I think Akshar Patel really did well for himself. 3 for 17, 4 overs, very impressive, but I think he was the only bowler who actually showed up today. Beyond that, I think the Indian bowling lineup had a lot to, actually had a very forgettable night. And Australia, the batsmen, they clearly enjoyed batting under the lights.
Yep, easy chase, 200. How many would have given Australia a chance? We thought it will go close.
It did, but again, even that's very deceptive. 2 runs needed off the final over.
19.4, it's like, carrying on from that Pakistan game, that Sri Lanka game, at the Asia Cup, exactly same circumstances.
It was actually 19.2, not even 19.4. The first ball,
4 balls remaining, yeah.
First ball, David got out. Second ball, Cummins hit for a 4. No problem.
Yeah.
Easy as you like.
Again, I think death bowling is India's problem. I mean, this kind of total, I agree that, if you score 200 odd, you would expect more often than not for the bowlers to defend. Absolutely. I understand that the conditions today probably weren't in favor of the bowlers. Because there was a lot of dew. We said right at the toss that it is going to be slightly tough in terms of bowling second, and that batting becomes much easier batting second. We knew all of that, but once India got a 200 plus total, psychological advantage is there. That the team that will be chasing will be under pressure. All of that. What you needed was some quick early wickets, which I don't think you got. And then the way Umesh Yadav started, even Bhuvneshwar Kumar actually got hammered to begin with.
Yeah, when first ball he got it for the 6.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. From there on, see again, Australia can afford to bat like that, because look at Australia's batting. Till 8 you've got Cummins.
Exactly.
And I think Ellis comes in at 9.
I'm pretty sure he could bat a bit as well. So.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. There is. Anuprash says, and I think what Anuprash is saying is very important, because I mentioned the biggest problem has been death bowling, and this is a reality check, because your proclaimed death over specialist lineup. But the only difference I'll point out, there was no Jasprit Bumrah. He does make a big difference, yet that can't be used as an excuse for India. You had a Harshal Patel today, you had a Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
Harshal that early?
No, but he came in with a death, also got hammered.
Yeah, true.
He came for the 18th over, Harshal Patel, and got hammered. So he's almost given away 50 runs in his 4 overs at an economy of 12.20.
I mean, look at everyone besides Akshar. No one covered themselves.
I'm just talking about death bowling for now. And so there is a Harshal Patel who bowled that 18th over and then gave away a lot of runs. And I think you have got him for that particular thing. Correct. That he is the guy who's going to have variation. He's the one who's going to ensure that he gets the batsman to double guess, and that's where they falter. None of that has happened. Again, Hardik Pandya went for runs, but then that's what you expect out of a primarily batsman bowler. Correct. He's going to give you 2 overs. The rest of them really have to step up. Yuzi Chahal bowled the last over, but again, his wickets have been always crucial. And what we've seen from the Asia Cup to now, that Yuzi Chahal also has been patchy. Some games he's been doing a lot of wickets, but some games he's not. So now you really need to look at answers as far as your bowling is concerned. I mentioned it in the Asia Cup also. Your batting didn't let you down. I think under the conditions here, yes, you got 200 because of batting wicket. There you were getting 170s, 180s against Sri Lanka, Pakistan. I think you got enough runs. You need your bowling to step up.
In fact, you look at the 2 matches we talk about in the Asia Cup, those close matches. Bhuvneshwar's poor 19th over decided it. Same here. In fact, you could say even before this,
18th
over also. Correct. Yeah.
18th of Harshal, 19th of Bhuvneshwar, both. But what I'm saying is, by the time I think they needed 40 of 3, which is quite doable in T20 cricket.
It is. Yeah.
So while they must have gone, and I can see a lot of comments about Bhuvneshwar 19, but 40 of 3 is doable when you got wickets in hand, which Australia did. The problem is you're taking it to 40 for 3. And that's what I'm saying, that other than Akshar Patel, and by the way, if you've been watching our pre-match program, we pointed out that Akshar will be very successful in this ground. In these conditions where it's a bit slippery, skiddy, because he's that kind of a bowler. See, again, for Rohit Sharma also, I'm looking at it. I think as a captain, he tried everything. He got a Akshar Patel to bowl in the power play. He got a UZ Chair to bowl in the power play. That they were going for runs. So he tried everything. Then you got that lucky break, that over by Umesh, he gets you 2 wickets. You think that now they'll, in some way
you could turn it around at that point, but they didn't.
Put breaks to their scoring, but didn't happen because you kept leaking runs. So again, look at what Australia is doing. So no real big contribution apart from Green with 61. Tassim, no other half centuries. You got 22 from Finch, 35 from Smith,
45
you got
from
18
Wade.
from David, English gets you 17, 45 from Wade, things like that. That's the kind of, that reminds me of the contribution that Sri Lanka was making.
Correct. There was no big contributors. Everyone was pitching in quick 30-40, quick 30-40.
Yep.
And that works. That is the template you aspire to in T20 cricket.
Yep.
Rather than one batsman scoring big and everything revolving around him.
Yeah.
That admittedly is problematic. But again, Australia, the way they were batting, very confidently.
The surprising bit is Mr. Green, who was the man in form.
Who we said wouldn't even be opening despite the fact that he was a designated opener here.
He's not part of Australia's T20 World Cup squad.
Maybe he also came out batting.
He was playing his second T20I today.
Yeah.
In his career, playing the second T20 international. And look at the way he played.
Maybe somebody from the Australian team also can have a side string, and Cameron Green might just get into the...
No, right now you don't need side strain, na? Till there is a date, till October.
I think even a day before, you just have to send an email.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, you don't even have to say injury.
You just have to send an email. This is our replacement. That's it.
You don't have to give in tournament.
But then you have
certificate injury.
No, but then you have to give a justification to the public at least.
Yeah, public. But organizers have said doesn't matter. You can change your squad anytime till that 1 or 2 days before the tournament. After which, then you need like a proper medical certificate to say someone has got injured, so that they can always. What is Gaurav Kumar saying?
Nothing. He's just saying who's paying the salary. Okay.
No,
of the bowling coach.
No, he's saying, can I ask regarding the bowling coach? Why do we blame captain? Is he not accountable? He is also drawing salary from the BCCI, the bowling coach.
He's also drawing.
No, he's talking about the bowling coach also drawing salary from the BCCI, na?
Paras Mavre.
Yes.
Yeah, that we know.
Yeah.
But I think I enjoyed this match. I think only 2 people amongst the Indians enjoyed this match. One was, of course, Rahul Rawat, that is me, and the other person was Rohit Sharma, the Indian captain.
Akshar Patel?
No, Akshar Patel was phenomenal.
Absolutely.
In a high-scoring game like this, where...
Why do you enjoy? You enjoyed seeing India lose.
No,
you enjoyed the match. That way, everyone enjoyed. Everyone enjoyed.
The way Rohit Sharma enjoyed today, I have never seen him. I have never seen him like this on the field.
No, people are saying they are running different headlines. He's upset, he's angry, and this.
Who?
People are pointing at.
I thought he was enjoying.
Yeah.
Even I think one thing which
even I agree.
Saying that he was angry at DK, but that was very playful. It was
that was
they're very good friends. Yeah,
exactly.
They're very good friends. That is why Dinesh Karthik doesn't mind even if he has to bat just for an over or 2. Despite the fact that the last recognized batsman got out in the 14th over, and he wasn't the one who was sent in. It was the. But so what we all thought. The death bowling for India is a huge concern. Today,
it is.
Today, once again, Bhuvneshwar Kumar was given the ball to bowl that penalty mate over the 19th over. And I saw a few people, somebody, so I said, fortunately, today you don't have to defend 19 runs. You don't have to defend 19 runs. Otherwise, because I think in that final over, or the penalty mate over, Australia needed 18 of the last 2 overs.
Correct.
So Bhuvneshwar lived up to the reputation.
He gave away what?
No, but I'll tell you one thing. This is what I was pointing out. A lot of people are saying about Bhuvneshwar, but the fact is, at that time, 40 of 3 overs in T20 game with wickets in hand, you are done.
Yeah.
The game went till that meant you were almost done.
But imagine a match,
Unless you have-
a match where one team was chasing 209 to win. Match got
Yeah.
over an over to left with.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So match was over. So by the way, Harshal Patel is a death bowler. Is a
He had
death
one over
bowler.
left for the
exposed
death.
today.
He was
18th over
he
he
was
got hammered.
smashed for 22 runs
Exactly.
in that 18th over, and that is where the match got over because
Correct.
because in the last 12 balls you were
Yes.
left to defend how many 18 runs.
Yeah,
And that is
so
Bhuvneshwar-
that is why I'm pointing out that a lot of people are saying Bhuvneshwar costing India third series. Actually, you lost it in the 18th over.
Yeah,
That 22
Bhuvneshwar
runs.
could have, Bhuvneshwar
He could have bowled an outstanding over by giving 6-7 runs and we would have saved.
and for Chahal it was a blessing in disguise that
You needed
at
2 runs.
least you needed 1 over or 2 runs you needed that last over and
No, the surprising bit is
got a wicket
he
at least.
didn't go to Umesh. Huh? Didn't go to Umesh.
rightly so.
No, but I'm saying the surprising. I think Umesh in that second over picked up 2 wickets. Didn't bowl after that.
Umesh, I think, bowled 2 overs for 27 runs
Yes.
or more than that.
Yeah, 27.
First over got hammered.
Yeah,
Came
4
back.
boundaries. Yeah,
Came back for the next over.
got hammered again. Just got two more
But
wickets.
after that didn't bowl. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you got 2 wickets, I don't know. You could have risked bringing him in.
No, but
It's not like the others didn't get hammered
but
anyway.
Nikhil,
Exactly.
I thought it was too late to try an Umesh Yadav
No, I'm
because
saying when he got you those 2 wickets, maybe another over in that spell only you could have got.
But again,
Usually
it's not
happens.
like the
You
others
pick
didn't
2
get
wickets.
hammered.
Imagine you're the bowler. You picked up 2 wickets. You're not bought on next.
but I think that was somewhere in the 12th over or that was the 12th over. Yeah, that was the 12th over. So 13, 14, 15, 16.
They could have given him
The
one
third
over.
over. could have-
18th over they gave
have come.
Harshal.
maybe they must be thinking that we'll give him the 20th over to bowl.
If they had
No,
something
but
to
then
defend.
20th so he didn't come.
हाँ,
No,
हाँ.
but even then he's just bowled 2 na, I think Umesh. He's
Yeah,
not
two.
bowled
Umesh
3.
bowled 2.
Just 2.
Oh, that's it.
And Bhuvi went for 52 runs of his 4 overs.
Yeah.
Harshal Patel making a comeback into the Indian team after
49.
that injury went for 49 runs. By the way, both of them went wicketless.
Yeah.
Akshar Patel 17 runs for 3 wickets in a
Phenomenal.
match like this where both
Phenomenal.
the teams combined total was over 420 or 410 is phenomenal.
Agreed.
And now if you look at what Hardik Pandya did, this match could have been over at around 9:30 if he hadn't.
Yeah. But then that though he would have.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, there was a question, please. Super chat. There was a question. Please take
So
that.
again, will you?
Prince says Bhuvi is a big concern. Why are we repeatedly giving him the 19th over? No plan in fielding. A big letdown.
Because you're literally left. He's the only experienced
No,
bowler there.
plus the game was over after the 18th.
No, it was still, somebody. Okay.
Okay, you bowl. Yeah, outstanding
I am
over.
saying,
Then
I
yes.
am saying had it okay.
Had it been a Bumrah.
This is a hypothetical situation. If Bumrah would have been there,
But Bumrah is rare. Also, somebody pointed out Bumrah got hammered last T20 World Cup, but I tell you what,
I thought-
that is because you didn't have enough run. Anuprash said. Even Bumrah got hammered in previous World Cup. Time to wake up.
no, that's fine. Bumrah got hammered in the last World
but
Cup.
also he
This is
never had
one
runs.
incident. This
But
is
you-
one incident that you are picking up.
Yeah.
Problem with Bhuvi is that this happened here. This happened
Twice in the Asia Cup.
twice in Asia Cup.
Yeah.
Twice in Asia Cup against 2 formidable teams, against Pakistan and against Sri Lanka. So it is definitely a matter of concern.
True.
It is definitely a matter
3
of concern.
big teams and the same problem crops up over and over.
Yep.
So there's a BA, like you used to have Abhi Adhikari. So like you had AD and what? AD
BC.
BC
and
and
BC. You
Which
have
is now BCE.
yeah. So now you have BA and PBA.
Post Bharat Arun era. Bharat Arun did pretty well with the team.
No, now looking at what is happening right now, it seems that he did
Yeah.
a very
Phenomenal
good.
job, we would
Exactly, but also we have to understand that all these players, all these bowlers were young also at that time. Bhuvi
Yeah.
was 5 years ago. Bhuvneshwar. Although you have to remember that Bumrah was just coming up. At that time, Bumrah was
Bhuvi
very
was at the peak at that
Correct.
time when Bumrah's kind. Mr. Shekhar said,
admit.
admit that without Jassi and Shami, you are nothing. All that buzz about backup strength was busted last year itself. Unable to defend 211 versus South Africa, Asia Cup. Now this, just check Harshal's economy against South Africa. and in Ireland and England. Yeah, he was proving to be expensive. We discussed that Harshal with time is proving to be expensive, but I think they didn't want to make too many changes because he had been doing well before that and they persisted with him, so they've gone. But again, I'm saying what's the option also? No, Arshdeep is not available.
Exactly, it's because he was.
No, but I'm saying also what are the options? Maybe they will then, if this is how he continues, I don't think you can make wholesale changes to the team now.
No.
It is possible then that Arshdeep becomes in your 11.
Third pacer, correct.
That is possible. That may happen. But right now your headache is not just one. Now. Your Bhuvi is not firing. Hardik Pandya also, 1 or 2 games he's done well, but as a backup seamer also doesn't inspire too much confidence.
And also UZ Chahal not is woefully
UZ Chahal not, yeah. UZ Chahal not taking a wicket, that's a big loss.
Yes, UZ Chahal not getting wickets, I think that is another concern, not just for him, but for the team, because
Correct.
he is also a huge asset to this team.
Correct.
Because he can get you quick wickets and one after the other, and he can get you he can actually win you games, but that's not happening.
And also more importantly, now if you look at it from World Cup point of view, you have to stick with him because your next option is R. Ashwin. Never a wicket taker.
You don't trust his abilities as an
I don't trust his wicket taking. No. He's an economy bowler and that's it.
Angad is saying, do you think Umran
People
could
can
have
say
come in as
whatever.
replacement instead of Shami? Why Umesh? He's not getting any younger. So, no, I think they've seen Umran. They still think that there is time for him to play at that level, which is also fair.
He
I
was
think,
recently playing for the A's and even
but
he lacked...
he leaked runs at international level. So, I think we're just
You have to
jumping
be
the
patient
gun.
with
Yeah, the one guy is not doing well suddenly.
Exactly.
I think what will happen, I think they will not just make major changes because the series is still left, so you will play a few matches. What might happen is that if Harshal doesn't perform, you will get like an Arshdeep becomes part of your 11.
Correct.
And Shami anyway is always as
reserve,
backup, and then he
correct.
comes into the 15. It's quite possible that India might do it. They can do
this
it.
is
Niggles, side strains can always happen.
This is my worry, heading into the T20 World Cup. If you're actually banking on Shami as your backup, although he has a lot of experience,
Yeah.
maybe
he has to play a few games.
Maybe you are going into the World Cup with an undercooked Harshal Patel, with an undercooked Bumrah, with an undercooked Shami. If he, if situation arises and he has to get into
Deepak Chahar as well. Because
so that's why I'm saying you could have actually started with Deepak Chahar. Although today, if I would be Deepak Chahar, I would be
happy
feeling,
that I didn't do
Deepak Hooda, the other Deepak would be saying, "Yeah, I should have been in this 11. Could have got
Got
runs
good,
because the wicket was pretty good."
exactly, very easy to bat. Huh?
And at one stage it seemed that India had won this game, but Matthew Wade, in fact, the first few deliveries that he played, he seemed that he wasn't going for runs, but maybe he had calculated everything.
Yeah.
And in the end, the match got over with almost an over to spare.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again it was academic. You needed 2 of the final
this though
over.
even 220 looked dangerous. 220 looked dangerous at this level, the way they were playing. Have we taken this one?
Yeah.
We have.
Yes.
Look at the shine.
Aditya is saying maybe Akshar happening to India is blessing in disguise for India. Bowls in power play, wicket together. Actually, if you compare, we were discussing that. As bowlers, he's been
Akshar
better than
far ahead.
Jadeja for
Yeah.
some time now. As a batsman, Jadeja offers you more. But as a bowler, yes, I agree.
Arshdeep is now second designated death bowler. Yes, I honestly trust Arshdeep when it comes to death bowling.
I mean, look at the first match against Pakistan. 6 runs needed. The second one against Sri Lanka, not one ball he bowled wrong. Not one ball.
Yeah.
I actually trust him more in the death. No?
And we tend to give too much importance to IPL, definitely because you have the best players from around the world are playing in that league. But IPL is different from international cricket, and then World Cups are different from international cricket. The pressure in all three is different with the T20 or any World Cup or an ICC event. That pressure is different. Yeah, so I think I don't know if I'll have to come upstairs. Anyways, we are going to take a lot of questions here now because I think majority of talking has already been. To be a champion team, they should defend 140 to 150 runs or chase 180 to 200 runs comprehensively to win the World Cup. We have got a long way to go, improve and execute. That is what Anup Rash is saying. 140, 150. I think India didn't have, were not lucky with the toss also.
Of course.
But still, the moment you had posted 208 and match gets over and with an over to spare,
then you know you've not bowled well.
Questions will be asked. So now, Shane, if you look at the recent past, you won just one game amongst the top nations.
Correct.
If you see that Pakistan game,
and that too, your bowlers did the job really well.
You won that game, then you lost to Pakistan, then you lost to Sri Lanka, then you now lost to Australia. So basically, you won just one game in the last 4 effectively.
Yeah, because you beat Hong Kong and Afghanistan. Like, no disrespect.
Yes. No, definitely. You don't fancy. You will always fancy your chances against teams like Afghanistan and Hong Kong.
Correct.
Yeah. Why not Bhuvi all 4 overs in the power play like you did because they're not Afghanistan, no, or Australia.
No, and to be fair, I mean, we were pointing out this problem that if you have Umesh and Bhuvneshwar in the same team, you have 2 bowlers playing the exact same role. Who are you bowling into that?
No, they are different kind of bowlers, that I understand. Bhuvneshwar and Umesh Yadav, they're 2 different.
True.
But the problem with both of them
They have to be bowling.
Is same. Death bowling.
Exactly. It's non-existent.
It's a massive concern. Although, I can still give Umesh Yadav a benefit of doubt because, he's coming after a lengthy break. We haven't seen much of him, and, suddenly he gets a call up, a phone call that, we're drafting you into the Indian team, and today he's playing. Just a few days back, he must have got to know that
he got called up, and now he's playing.
And now he's playing. So, mentally also, physically, whatever you are feeling, that's one thing, but mentally also you have to prepare yourself. And then he knows that on the back of his mind, he must be thinking, in case I perform something exceptional here.
Correct.
So, that
Things
also
can
happens.
be the wheels can be oiled.
And imagine, just in the pre-match we were discussing, and Nikhil was the one who's saying that, imagine luck. How important luck is, because Umesh Yadav, out of nowhere, he gets a call up and gets to even play ahead of Deepak Chahar. Now, how things have changed
now
in
Deepak
a matter of 3 hours.
Lucky stars.
In a matter of 3 hours, how things have changed. Umesh Yadav must be wondering, belter of a track.
And I'm having to bowl up.
I am the one who got to bowl on that track. Jasprit Bumrah was for whatever reasons, maybe he's not fully fit. Deepak Chahar, who was ahead in the pecking order, didn't play. Okay, then Mohammad Shami got COVID, and I am the one,
the lucky one, let's say.
The so-called lucky one who gets to play this game.
Also, with one thing with Umesh, you always have to remember, he's literally never been a death bowler. Bhuvi, on the other hand, has a reputation of being good into that previously. Could nail Yorkers. Now he's just lost that.
Nail Yorkers, and then those wide Yorkers also. Yorkers. I don't know what has happened with those wide Yorkers.
We didn't see it much in the IPL.
Teams don't bowl or in the IPL, even in the Asia Cup.
They
didn't see too many bowlers or teams trying that wide Yorkers. That could, maybe that could be a technical or a technical reason. Technical as in, strategically teams are not doing that because, they have a ring on the offside where you have a short third man point. Everybody is inside the ring, so you don't want to take that chance and bowl those wide Yorkers, because just in case the batsman gets a little bit of bat to it. and it can concede two.
Also, nowadays batsmen are more prone to shuffling.
Yeah.
The wide Yorker was very
Yeah.
effective when people would
Yeah.
stay stuck in the crease.
In fact, what was that? Who played that? Tim David or who got that one? One edge, and Yuzi Chahal I thought was standing there at wide slip or third slip.
Yeah.
So I think it took an edge and went between the keeper and
Right in that wonderful
third.
cut.
Even Hardik got a couple of edges to those deliveries. I don't know why we are ignoring fielding placement. I was shocked. Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Says Amit Khajure, I was shocked that the fielding was placed like a local village game. I don't think the fielding placement was as much of an issue as what was. I don't know. The bowling was itself just, a lot of questions to be asked of the bowling. I'd be very interested to hear what Rohit had to say, because there's no way he could defend a bowling show like this, because it just wasn't good. Anurag, can we scroll down?
Yeah.
Let's see. कोई नहीं. Arun Teja says that defending a target against a quality team is a serious issue for India. Just imagine if we need to defend a knock in a knockout game in the World Cup. Yeah, I mean, see, okay, let's point out the mitigating factor. This was an absolute belter of a track, and what is also more worth noting was that second innings we knew it was going to get easier to bat. We knew dew factor was going to come into play. We knew there'd be a lot of such things. But yeah, defending a target, as you mentioned, Arun Teja, has been an issue. We were pointing out that they couldn't defend against Pakistan, couldn't defend against Sri Lanka. Now you are unable to defend a target against Australia. So it is definitely a problem, especially if you're put into bat first in a knockout game. You'd already be thinking that you're starting on the back foot.
Jibin Matthew is saying Yuzi should never bowl in the power play. He picks his wickets by making batsmen hit him for boundaries. That's not successful in the power play. He bowled 2 in the power play today. Jibin, I think one of the reasons why he had to bowl 2 overs in the power play was because your bowlers,
your pacers,
your pacers were going for runs, and Akshar Patel got you
a wicket
in the very first over that he bowled. That was the 4th over. So if 4th over he bowled, I think Yuzi Chahal must have bowled just 1 in the power play then, because the 4th over he bowled, then Yuzi Chahal. So and 1. And in the IPL, how you are used and the kind of wickets that you are playing on, that also depends. In the IPL, we saw Yuzi Chahal was being used in the power play, was in fact being used in the death overs also, and he was the highest wicket taker this season, amongst the highest, if not the highest. I think he was the highest wicket taker this season.
He edged out, I think, 1 in the. Yes.
Yeah, so he was the highest wicket taker. So he had been, and in this modern age, in terms of cricket, a lot of players, all these teams, they study you a lot, analyze you a lot. Now look at Harshal Patel. It seemed as if Harshal Patel, nobody can figure out the kind of deliveries, the slower balls that he was using. But now what has happened in the last few games, in fact one of our viewers only pointed this out, the last few matches, or his bowling figures in the last few matches, he's been going for runs, Harshal Patel. Why is it happening? I think he's becoming too predictable.
That one dipping slower ball was just constant.
I think
and people have figured it out.
He is becoming too predictable now. Arjun Teja, you've taken that?
I took Arjun
okay.
Teja. GGK? GGK says, I think he's being sarcastic, by the way.
Okay.
He says that we will still win the World Cup with this. Go down. It's there. Slightly more down. There we go. We will still win World Cup with this team. Just need 5 to 10% luck, like few wind tosses and take a few catches. Okay, I think he's being optimistic.
Maybe you can say, but then
I don't think the best of teams went on luck though.
Sri Lanka is a prime example now.
They won the tournament.
They were the underdogs heading into that Asia Cup, and I think before that only 2 teams had managed to chase down targets in the Asia Cup. One was India, and that was against Afghanistan, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, that Afghanistan team that had just lost a game a night before,
earlier in a different venue.
At a different venue, they were tired. I thought emotionally also they were very drained out after that close loss. And then the other game was Pakistan beating Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Okay, then I think this must be the 3rd game.
That's it.
The final.
Yeah.
And that was against Pakistan in a final. They chased down that. Oh, sorry,
They defended it,
that
correct.
target. So I agree with you. But as far as taking catches is concerned, that doesn't depend on luck. It depends on
Application.
how many catches you take in those fielding drills, and secondly, how confident you are while taking those catches.
You remember the first innings? I don't remember who it was who took that catch, which was he fell forward, caught it, then rolled. And it was done with such nonchalance. Why? Because practice makes perfect.
Yes, and if you are confident with your fielding, I always believe, if you are a good fielder, you would want to be in a position where you think that ball will come to you.
Correct.
So for a good fielder, that's always the case. You would want, and if you're not confident enough, then you would prefer, yaar, ball mere paas na aaye, that would be better.
I'll find some position
Exactly.
to hide.
You will see, and that is the reason why the best fielders are placed in a position where you think the ball will go more often than not, and that is the reason while fielding you will get to see a Virat Kohli more, a Ravindra Jadeja more than other fielders, because they are positioned in such a way that whenever according to the deliveries or according to the bowling, they'll be placed in positions where ball will of course
Come the
go
most.
more.
Correct.
So that's one case. And fielding, so luck, I don't know if luck has anything to do with fielding. Australia held on to their catches.
Just fine.
Yeah. Sri Lanka, Asia
Very
Cup,
good. Very good fielding.
I thought in the end, you never know, maybe those fielding or that catching made the difference in the game. In the Asia Cup final, they were defending, by the way, in those conditions where dew also
comes into play.
exactly played its part, and with that outfield wet, it is very difficult to field, by the way. So
it is.
that is what I'm saying. You can always complain, ball gila ho gaya tha. Today you practice with a wet ball, by the way. If there is dew, you are prepared, you prepare yourself for
by
conditions
practicing with
like
wet
these.
ball, correct.
You prepare with wet balls, you bowl with wet balls. So similarly, if the outfield is wet, that is how you practice, that is how you train. You have to prepare yourself for everything.
Simple as that.
Look at other countries. This is Anuprash, T20 squads. Most of them have got only one keeper. Maybe one is in standby. We have already got KL. So if Pant isn't playing, why have we him in the team? Can't even
Because KL
field.
is not seen as a wicket-keeping option anymore. I think that experiment ended with the last World Cup.
So maybe I think he's saying if you need a backup,
Then you have
keeper.
KL.
By the way, it may not be the end of the road for Rishabh Pant. You may see him in a few games
Before the World Cup.
Cup, because whatever said and done, of course Dinesh Karthik, he is your designated finisher, but I don't know what is a designated finisher. If you have a Hardik Pandya who can do the job,
Yeah.
okay, he can play in any position and whichever way you want him to play. If you want to play him, just stick around for a
He'll do
bit,
it.
he can do that. If you want to, if you want him to go and just blast everything and anything
do
that
that
comes his way, he can do that also. That he showed today. So I'm saying, you cannot. We always say that in cricket, especially in T20 cricket, you have to be flexible in your thought process also, and in terms of your batting, bowling, everything. So why just have such a
Tunnel vision, you can say.
exactly for Dinesh Karthik? So that's why I'm saying, maybe Dinesh Karthik will be given opportunities here, and it is adding pressure to Dinesh Karthik also. I
That
think.
you can only bat in these last two
Yes.
overs. We don't trust you before that. It's not fair on him.
You are
also.
typecasting him
Exactly.
because he has been playing cricket for international cricket for almost a decade now, and you've got to believe and trust in his abilities. Anyways, I've never seen Indian fielding this bad. If you remove Jadeja, we become below average fielding.
Arman Khan says.
Maybe you're right to an extent.
Yeah, without Jadeja, the team does look a little weak in the field.
India is a good side, but reality is other sides are better and have many all-rounders able to cover bad day bowlers. Davis Cricket.
Well, I mean, to be fair, today we had two all-rounders there, but one of them also went for runs in Hardik. Akshar bowled his 4.
And the other all-rounder, couldn't contribute much with the bat. Of course, you had 208 on the board despite Akshar not. By the way, Akshar Patel and Dinesh Karthik both played 5 balls each.
Yeah.
And both of them got 6 runs each.
Which again makes you ask, what is the point of interchanging them?
Neela Kannan is saying Bhuvneshwar's 17th over let us down. I think Bhuvneshwar bowled the 18th over, by the way.
No, 18th was Harshal, then he bowled the 19th, Bhuvi.
Okay. But see, in the last 3 overs, you needed 38 runs, by the way. Go there, Anurag, go there. So, you needed 38 runs. Okay, they were 5 down. Tim David and Matthew Wade, they were well set, I understand. But still, as a bowling, if you're defending 38 runs in 3 overs, you would still believe that you have a better chance of winning that contest.
The batting team.
But what happens is, Harshal Patel, while bowling that 18th over, went for 22 runs.
Correct.
Now, Bhuvneshwar Kumar and whoever the bowler would have been,
over,
they were left with just 18 runs to defend in last 12 deliveries. So, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, of course, went for 16 runs in that over. So, you can say, but I don't think Bhuvneshwar Kumar today, of course, you would expect him to at least leave at least 10 runs for the final over to be defended. But then I thought, a lot had, because the equation had completely changed. You needed 38 of last 3 overs. Now you needed just 18 runs of, no, that can't be possible. Okay. I think then they would have needed 40 of the last 3 overs.
Exactly, 40 of the last 3, because they gave away 22 runs.
Yeah.
Then yes, they needed 40 of the last 3. You would, again, as a bowling team.
But I know Bhuvneshwar bowled that first delivery was a wide one.
22. The first 2 deliveries, no, first one was a wide. But again, I think we'll go down a little bit. See, he bowled 2 wides there, 15 runs. Actually, to be fair, the 17th over was also bad. 3 wides and 2 boundaries.
And they needed how many in the,
if they needed 40 plus 15.
70.
169. They needed 250
so
runs.
They needed almost 40 runs, by the way, or 50.
50 runs
50 runs in 4 overs.
They needed around 50 something, correct?
No, 40.
No, they were 169 for 5, no?
40 needed.
After 7. So in 3
No,
overs.
go down, go below that. We want to see how much. So they needed 55 in 4 overs, man. You can defend that. That is very defendable. You need 1, maybe 2 good overs.
Yeah.
That's very defendable.
So I would say that, if you ask me, they needed 55 of the last 4 overs. So I would want to be in that dressing room, in the team defending that score.
Absolutely.
I would want to be in that room.
That's in excess of 13, the required rate. You need 2 big overs. 2 big overs as the batting team, and they got 3 big overs.
14 and over.
Exactly. There, 14 and over. So
Chalo, go down. We take a few more questions. Missing Dhoni's luck. I think you're missing a lot of other things also that Dhoni.
yeah, as he says, sometimes they're thinking out of the box. Rohit, actually, to be fair, now 2 matches Bhuvi was problematic in the 19th over, and you still went to him in the 19th over today.
At some point, Australia needs 70 or 40 balls, and after this is Vikram
Just
Talreja.
scroll down slightly. There. It's sort of upper. There we go.
After 2 quick wickets, they needed 55
Exactly
or 25.
what we were saying.
Yeah, stop saying 15 or 20 shot. Who said 15,
We
20
didn't say
shot?
it. We said the bowling was bad.
I think you were watching some other show, Mr. Talreja.
And see, that's the thing. We actually agree with you here. Is that if you need 55
I think
or
the
4,
good thing that I liked about this Indian batting today was, despite losing those 2 wickets,
They
and that
still
too
got
of
in
Rohit
excess of
Sharma and
200.
Virat Kohli, all these players, be it KL Rahul, Surya Kumar Yadav and Hardik Pandya, they never stopped. They in fact went for their shots. They never stopped going for their shots, all 3 of them. And the result was that you got 208 on the board. So, but with the bowling, I think Cameron Green gave them a very good start, and but at one stage, in 10 overs, they were 102, I believe.
Which meant they needed about 100 odd runs.
Okay, 102 or something. No, maybe more than that.
We'll see.
Then in 12, they were
Go down below that.
just one.
109 for 1 in 10. So they needed
10
100 odd runs.
And by the way, this is after 10. So after 10 overs, Australia were 109 for 1. A very good position to be in. But then after the end of 12 overs, Australia were 123 for 4.
Correct.
So India had
The momentum at that point.
Yes, India had pulled things back, but still, the wicket was the wicket was so good that batsmen could go for runs. I'm not blaming the conditions or the toss or the wicket or the dew for India's loss. 208 psychologically India were there. They could have got a few early. So the problem that I thought India were facing in the Asia Cup also, Shane, Mohammad Rizwan, despite the fact that he was not scoring at a very exorbitant rate or very quick rate, he was there. So I think India is not being able to get those early wickets. So in a low scoring match today, of course you were defending 208. A couple of wickets early
makes all the difference.
And if you are defending a score, say somewhere in the vicinity of 160, then also you need early wickets.
Absolutely.
And in those games also, if you see against Pakistan, India scored 182 in the second game. I'm talking about against Pakistan. But you didn't get those early wickets. I think they got Babar Azam and Fakhar Zaman, and that too not one after the other. So those early wickets also make a lot of difference. You didn't get those early wickets today. They were 38 for 3 38 for no loss in 3 overs. Australia, so they had got the momentum, they had got the start, and if you don't get those early wickets on wickets like these, and with the kind of mindset the batsman has these days, it's very difficult to contain.
You can't contain, you have to get the wickets. They weren't able to do that today.
But boss, there are days when you say you didn't lose a match because of your batting. There are days when you say you didn't lose a match because of your bowling. It's becoming a concern,
You're not firing in unison.
Yes.
What KL was saying, remember that all 3 departments need to be firing.
Yes.
You're not seeing that happen.
Yes.
The batting fires, the bowling will disappoint.
Absolutely.
The bowling fires, the batting will disappoint. Both batting, bowling fires, and your fielding lets you down.
And on paper, for such a long time we've been talking about, or everybody has been highlighting about Virat Kohli's form, everything, but I think Rohit Sharma, and he's been talking about an intent, he's talking about a template, but I hope he doesn't get into that mindset of following that template to the T so much so that
he actually isn't getting runs.
It affects his own batting, because India will need a Rohit Sharma, India will need a Virat Kohli. India needs Rohit Sharma as much as India needs Virat Kohli.
Correct.
So that for me is actually a big concern. On paper, this batting lineup looks so intimidating. Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, Surya Kumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya,
DK.
Dinesh Karthik, Rishabh Pant, a batsman with that kind of talent is, by the way, sitting out
on the bench.
So, but this is all on paper. Rohit Sharma is struggling. KL Rahul fortunately looks back in form.
At least back in some fine touch.
Yes, 2 back-to-back 50s for KL Rahul. Virat Kohli, he's got 100, but we'll have to see if he can be consistent. Surya Kumar Yadav also, by the way, today he got a 46, but
could have got more.
But if you see last 5-6 matches, has he been consistent? No.
He's not.
Hardik Pandya got a brilliant 71 not out today.
But again, that was his best knock since the first Asia Cup match against Pakistan.
Yes.
He's also not been consistent, neither with bat nor with ball.
But now, another big concern, or rather a bigger concern for me, in case India doesn't win the toss,
then what?
On a crucial important day,
then what?
The bigger concern for me is India's bowling now. as I said earlier also, Jasprit Bumrah, I don't know about his fitness. He didn't play today. He is coming after a huge injury layoff.
Correct.
Okay, 3 months, 2 months or 3 months. Harshal Patel
Looked rusty.
went into that rehab after not so great performances. Now he is back. Looked rusty. I don't know whether he was rusty or not. Any fast bowler would be rusty after coming back after this kind of a break, but maybe he's getting a little too predictable for the batsman.
He was getting predictable pre-injury.
Yes.
Now it's just a case of
Bhuvneshwar Kumar, despite all that experience, one day he would look like a demon to a batsman, and on the other day he would look like a fish out of the pond while bowling. Then Yuzi Chahal.
Yuzi's lack of wickets is actually impacting the team so badly because he was your main wicket taker in the middle overs.
So Shane, I have, and at times maybe tomorrow in Nagpur you will not tomorrow, on Friday, maybe in Nagpur you win the second game. It may cover those paper. It may just paper over those cracks. But then these are concerns. Until the time you don't perform or do all these things consistently, concerns will remain.
And more importantly, what is it that we were saying before the match, that even if they win the bilaterals, does it really matter? India have been the king of bilateral tournaments since forever at this point.
True.
But what happens in an Asia Cup? What happens in a T20I World Cup? You'll have 2 bad games. You're no longer in contention to win the tournament, despite the fact that, as you say, on paper, we have a side that can be beating anyone on any given day.
Book cricket.
Correct.
Achha, before we leave, I'll just take a few questions. Okay, Aditya Kavlekar says, do you think India will miss a leg spinner who bowls with pace and quicker through the air? Pun intended. I think he's referring to the last T20 World Cup selection where Rahul Chahar was included in place of Yuzi Chahal, Varun Parvatnani. He's saying Bhuvi and 19th over woos continue. I think Rohit should break the jinx, get Harshal to bowl the 19th. It seems illogical, but nothing different to matchups. Vikram Talreja says you need bowling.
We took this one.
Okay, you've taken. Amit Khajuria says Bhuvi in death overs has given away 66 odd runs in the last 4 matches at some 16 plus runs, and the one match where he, because against Afghanistan he didn't bowl, because he bowled 4 overs on the trot. Okay, what is this? Angel Jolly. We need to accept India is not at all good in T20. We can't even win Asia Cup. We should not even think of winning the World Cup. Might be this team is the best in ODIs and Test. Okay, all right. So this is what has happened today. 208 runs. Fabulous batting by the Indian team, especially the middle order, included and KL Rahul, of course, at the top. Hardik Pandya, 208.
Again, 208 regardless of the conditions. As a bowling team, you're always thinking, right, the team in front is needing to go at 10 and over.
Yeah.
You bowl some good tight overs to start with, and they're immediately under pressure.
52 runs is what Bhuvneshwar Kumar gave away in his 4 overs, 4 wicketless overs.
Yeah.
Umesh Yadav took 2 wickets,
but 27 runs.
27 runs in 2 overs. Got to bowl just 2 overs. Harshal Patel making a comeback after that injury break.
No wickets, 49 runs.
No wickets, 49 runs.
In his 4 full quarter.
In his 4 overs, a death specialist. Yuzi Chahal, 3.2 overs, 42 runs and just 1 wicket. So Bhuvneshwar Kumar 13, an economy of 13. Umesh Yadav, an economy of 13 and a half. Yuzi Chahal, an economy of 12.60. Harshal Patel, an economy of 12.20. Hardik Pandya, an economy of 11.
Again,
and Akshar Patel, just 17 runs in his 4 overs and 3 wickets. So rest of the other 5 bowlers
disappointed him.
4, 5, 6, 10, 12 and say 15.2, so close to 16 overs, nobody. So the best among them was Hardik Pandya with an economy of 11. And remember, Australia were chasing. They needed an economy. They needed
10 and over
throughout. None of these 5 bowlers, by the way, none of these 5 bowlers could restrict their economy to less than 10. Hardik Pandya was the best. Apart from, I'm taking Akshar Patel out of this, but rest of the 5 bowlers, the best was Hardik Pandya with an economy of 11.
Correct.
That speaks volumes about the way India lost this game. Anyway, that's it from here tonight. We'll meet you tomorrow, by the way, and we'll have a lot of discussions about what is going to happen, and maybe we क्या खोया क्या
क्या पाया is tomorrow's dugout.